Hi everyone. I've decided today that I'm going to answer a few questions that some friends and family have asked me about what it's like to be an amputee. So one of the questions that I get a lot is, what is phantom pain like? Now, I believe that phantom pain is a really unique experience for each person. I think their person's life experiences will also change their perception of pain, just any kind of pain. So phantom limb is the same, phantom limb pain. I distinguish there to be two different things. So there's phantom limb sensation and phantom limb pain. So the phantom limb sensation is where you feel like you've got a foot there. It doesn't hurt, it just feels like you've got a foot. And the phantom limb pain is obviously that it hurts. So examples of phantom limb sensation for me, I quite often get the feeling like I have something stuck between my toes that I want to get out. Water, a cotton ball, something really odd that I probably don't really experience so much if I have a foot. But that's kind of the sensation. I'm like, oh, come on, brain, what are you doing? Like, there's no foot there. There's no cotton wool, let alone the foot. So I have that. It's actually, sorry, a bit of fluff. Probably from my jersey. I also find that when I'm wearing a prosthetic, that my brain tends to think that there's a foot at the end of it, and if I'm looking down at my feet and I'm looking at the same shoes and things like that, then that phantom limb sensation seems to be more frequent for me. Again, it's not painful, it's just a sensation. One thing I catch myself doing every now and then is putting my foot down or going to move my foot in a way, like if I'm wanting to shift something out of my way, or I want to kick something, like a piece of paper out of the floor. And then I'll do the whole leg movement often before I've even realized that there isn't a foot there to make it. And then I get quite frustrated because it's not a simple process to switch to the other foot, because you've got nothing to balance on unless you're wearing your prosthetic. And obviously then you can move whatever it was that you wanted to move to start with. In regards to phantom pain, after my initial amputation, I had phantom pain for probably within sort of the first 3 to 6 weeks after the surgery. I found that it sort of subsided over time, and probably with knowledge as well. So I work with an occupational therapist who provided me with a lot of tools and information on phantom limb sensation and pain, and taught me how to use those tools and acknowledge that information so that I can actually use it to lessen the impact of phantom limb pain. About 6 weeks ago, gosh, has it been that long already? 6 weeks ago, I had a revision surgery where I had another 10 centimeters of skin and muscle and stuff removed, and one of my nerves was cut shorter. One of the significant nerves down the side of my leg was cut a bit shorter, and I've noticed that the phantom limb pain has been worse in this recovery. I'm not terribly worried about it because I have all of the tools that I've already learned. So for example, a phantom limb pain quite often happens for me in the evening when I'm winding down and I'm relaxing, or when I'm asleep. Just recently I've been waking up with the sensation of a muscle cramps, a lot of muscle cramps, but when I touch the end of my stump, it's not the muscles, no muscles are cramped up, and it doesn't actually hurt. So it's the process of my brain sending messages down to something that isn't there anymore, and it gets in, I imagine this is what it's doing, is that it gets into a bit of a panic, and it's like, oh, hey, I messaged you. Oh, I messaged you. wait, I messaged you some more and you're not doing anything. So you're not safe. So I'm going to send you some messages with a little bit more urgency. You're in pain. Just so that you can respond, so that your body will respond back. That's how I sort of have the mental rundown of what's going on in my head. And I wake up, I check physically that the muscles are okay, that they're not cramping, and that's, one tick, you're okay. No muscles are cramping. Second tick is, or second action that I can take to sort of alleviate phantom pain is quite often I will tap with, my fingernails, which offer quite a unique sensation on the end of my limb. I don't tap hard, I don't cause myself pain, but I remind myself of where my leg is ending now. And I'm giving the nerves something to work with in terms of sensation. That also helps my brain kind of catch on really quick. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm sending messages down to a foot that's not there anymore. Right, we won't message that one. We can feel what you're doing now. So that's cool. We're getting some sort of feedback and the brain calms down and I can go back to sleep. Now, I don't know what it's like for another amputee. I don't know for those that have really severe phantom pain, what it would be like. The most severe phantom pain that I've ever experienced is the sensation that someone's taken a cattle prod. So basically, what do they use in America? The zap you. There's a word. There's a name. I don't know what it is. Feel free to comment below and tell me. So yeah, it's basically like a cattle prod being stuck on the bottom of your foot. It's like getting an electric shock. The longest I would say is probably about 10 to 15 seconds. It takes your breath away. Your whole body gets really tense and shocked. It feels like a really intense shock. And then it sort of subsides. I've heard that some people can have that like constantly, or on a loop, a really frequent loop. I think I'm very fortunate in that I don't. And I've only really experienced that in times where I've been really stressed or I've overdone it physically. I've had some really funny experiences with not having a leg. One of them that used to drive me absolutely nuts was trying to kick my shoe off. One of those people who, gets indoors and wants to kick her shoes off. You keep sort of waving your limb, trying to kick your shoe off and nothing happens. There's no foot. Another thing that I get caught out with as a woman is, if I'm not wearing a prosthetic, is when you sit down and go to the toilet and you take your pants and things down, quite often everything falls off one leg because there's no foot or lower leg holding it up. And that was kind of like, what happened? Where did they go? So yeah, there's that. I've not fallen over yet. Knock on wood. I have had a few close scares though. And I think probably just working with a physio has helped build up, balance and sort of a bit more confidence in my body. You definitely suffer from a lack of confidence in your body after an amputation, and I think that's confidence in what you can physically pull off as well as confidence emotionally. Please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel.